No entry till Helen Priest returns. Take it up with her direct. She's off up the mountain looking for supplies.
As usual. More coming.
Come and get your breakfast, boys.
Ask for help if you need it.
Piss off!
I think I heard the sound of a gun cocking.
We're in inspectors. The fort will run out of powder.
These pests don't spring from nowhere.
Stuck.
Looks like you're walking.
Looks like.
Think you could take on a ghost? You shouldn't stay in there. That's the place. Fill in the hole. Bury them all.
should buy the fort a little time.
Let's hope it's not too late for the famous Mrs. Priest. I wonder how many there are in the fort.
Fewer by the day, I'll wager. Still, better to be inside than out.
This isn't over yet.
You got this, man.
The mountain is awash with specters.
Did the foraging party really come this way?
That would explain why they haven't returned.
feel a draft.
From the invisible.
Help us, please. We have a survivor. Come.
This one's not been dead long.
Let's hope he stays that way.
I think this area is similar to the map's instructions.
Looks like they were taken by surprise.
They never learn, do they?
Then get back up. Hurry! She's being overrun! Come on!
The treasure is here somewhere.
Is it just me or?
I felt it too. Corpses. We could manifest what hides here.
I summon you now!
I can help.
Brought more friends.
Get back up.
Spectre, going for a meat suit.
There's more of. Bloody howlers! Think I used to count.
I was not quick enough.
I love doing that.
My bolt is shot!
Behind you! Reinforcements! Region found them. This can't be good. There's more of.
I'm fine. Stop fussing.
Off we go then.
A timely arrival. You'll be Haskell's Banishers. Thank you. Thank you both.
You can see me.
Clear as day, just as I can see. This is my husband. I am Helen Priest.
Anteya Duarte. This is my partner, Red McGrath.
It is rare that the living can see the lingering dead.
All I know is one day I woke after 7 long years of grief, and my Sebastian was back. It was as if my prayers had at last been answered. That was enough for me.
In times of danger, I am duty-bound to protect the woman I love. You understand?
7 years. Why come back now?
It did not feel like 7 years. Suddenly, I felt her pain calling to me.
Divine intervention or otherwise, all that matters is that my dear Sebastian is back. Now, when I need him most.
Andrew White sent us. He thought you might be in trouble. Plainly, you needed your guardian angel.
We needed more than one. Thanks to you, we'll resupply the camp. Matthews and Williams did not die in vain.
This was a risky expedition. But Helen had no choice. If the survivors were to rely on Pennington alone, the fort would have already fallen.
You're well capable of fighting the living, 'tis clear. It was reckless to think you could take on the dead.
We have lost many of our comrades. We measured the risk. It was not reckless.
Pennington did this while monsters relentless besieged the fort. But make no mistake, these men's deaths are on the captain's conscience. If he has one.
How so?
7 years ago, a plague came to New Eden. Pennington quarantined the sick in the mines, walled them up. They were dark times. Hard times. None knew what the morrow would bring. We all lost much. Too much. As second in command, Sebastian volunteered to stay. Walled in with the others, he held out the longest. He died a hero. And now the Forsaken are rising. They demand revenge.
Who would blame them? I watched them die. Soldiers and miners, sick and hungry, begging for help they knew would never come.
Captain Pennington has much blood on his hands.
I'm sorry. You've been through a lot.
We have. We are, and will persist till we prevail.
We should get back to the fort. We will escort you.
I'm afraid I locked us in when I broke the latch.
If there's a way out, we'll find it.
Lock looks broken. I doubt that gate will ever open again.
I know.
Impressive. You Banishers are quite something.
That's all her. Just to help.
A Banisher marched with my father's infantry. Good for morale, he said.
Soldiers usually carry their ghosts with them. War is good for our business.
I take it that's how you met. I know a soldier when I see him fight.
I never worked for the army, but something like that.
We'll come back for you, my friend.
My sympathies.
You should stay with Helen if you want to enter the fort.
All of this for 2 miserable powder boxes. How low has Pennington brought us?
If you didn't like him, why did you follow him?
I followed his reputation, but he's no longer the same man.
What would you do in his place?
I'm doing it. He sits behind his walls waiting for them to fall, and I'm out here fighting to live. We're fighting for our lives. The captain is in the way.
These internal conflicts are a risk for the stability of the fort.
A necessary risk for the survival of all. But I agree. This must end. You may leave the crates. I'll send someone back for them.
Yeah, the path should be quiet. We cleared the area of the Spectre's nest.
Well, that's a relief. Follow me. White! Open the gates!
Priests! What are you lot waiting for? Open the gates!
Go talk to Pennington. Make him understand, if you can.
Where can I find him?
He hides in his office. You'll find him there.
Where are the others? Williams and the other chap?
Matthews, we were ambushed. They found.
May God have mercy on their souls.
Captain Pennington.
No time, no way out. No hope, no way in. No time at all.
Captain Pennington, sir.
Mr. McRae, you live.
There's work to be done.
Work? You had work. A mission. To bring one last glimmer of hope. To gladden our hearts before the pit takes us all.
You secretive bastards haven't helped.
The job is done. There's no more hope and little enough time. All that remains is the pit. Welcome to the last stand, McRae. Welcome to the end.
I wouldn't surrender just yet, Captain. I found Helen Priest. We brought supplies.
A waste of effort on both accounts.
Hardly. We saved a life. Resupplied, you may save more.
For the sake of what? For the sake of days, a week perhaps? You've saved no one. You've prolonged the terror. The dead will come. Our throats will feel their bony fingers soon enough. The end is inevitable.
It is if you will not act. You're the officer, take command. Surely you can't intend to do nothing.
You sound like Priest. She has changed. Her return to Fort Jericho has made her impulsive, irrational, quarrelsome. I believe she did not fully grieve her husband's loss. Returning to the scene has, it seems, reopened the wound. It festers. She'll join the lieutenant soon enough. When our defences crumble at the last, the pit shall take us all.
How do things stand, Captain, as you see them?
Little has changed. The dead flood from the mines. We shoot them down and gain respite. Soon, the onslaught begins anew. The clock of our extinction ticks on towards the hour. We may no more defeat the dead than we may vanquish the ocean waves.
Folk have little enough hope, and you're leading them further into the darkness.
I've heard the whispers, the murmurs, the plotting from the shadows. We hold till the last. We resist, till retribution rises from the pit and drags us all to hell.
Well, that's something worth waiting for.
I fail to see the appeal of this slow agony.
How unfortunate. Because thanks to you, and the time you bought us, the agony will be all the slower.
Fair to say your tactical retreat from New Eden town has not served you.
The town was doomed to fall to the curse. We disagreed on everything. There was nothing left to do but leave. We did not know there'd be no escape. Smith gathered the bold and the governor let the afeared flock to him. We never agreed on anything in the first place.
The new Smiths are holed up in the woods, planning soon to leave for Boston.
They may leave for Boston, but the curse will follow. The curse will follow until their backs are against the wall.
The governor is no more. His son takes charge. They rebuild as best they can.
Little Lammy Haskell? Truly? Well, better him than his father. May the vacuous peacock rest in peace.
As the commanding officer, you must know all the local lumps and bumps.
The lumps and bumps can smooth themselves. I have other priorities.
Why did you come to New Eden, Captain? Why here?
Far from the many wars we fight, you mean? I'd shot enough Frenchmen and more than enough Indians.
Did no one come with you?
Keep to your business, son, not mine.
It's just, there's a portrait hanging on the wall. A family.
I had a wife and daughter once. I'll not entertain you with their story.
Tell me more about yourself and your career.
I did my duty and had the fortune to return alive. That's all. We who are intimate with war tell no tales.
I thought that too. I was wrong. Silence allowed my ghosts to prosper. 'Tis good to tell our stories.
If ever I do tell, I'll not be telling you, son.
Permission to take my leave, Captain.
And if I refuse it?
Are you trying to recruit me, Captain? Do you really think I'd take the King's shilling?
If I were to offer enough shillings, I'm sure of it. I need no new lieutenants. But if you wish, you may stay. This key unlocks the unused watchtower. You'll bill it while you're here.
On the one hand, a captain beaten by the world. On the other, his rival, haunted and mutinous.
In a fort besieged by vengeful specters.
Behind all the shit, there's something else. Something darker. Could be worse. Could be underground.
Banishers, may I have a word?
Helen, something wrong?
Apologies for disturbing your rest. I'm afraid it can't wait. What did you think of the captain?
I saw an officer alone. A proud man turned to stone, perhaps by years of war. I saw a broken man.
I did not see the tyrant you described.
Inaction is tyranny. He will not act, but nor will he get the hell out of the way.
I do not disagree, but the captain needs help.
I too was a soldier, broken and haunted. With Antea's help, I recovered. Pennington may need the same.
Leave Pennington to me. The good folk of the fort need your help. You are Banishers. The dead, you'll have noticed, hammer at the gates. I would like you to go into the mines and find out what enrages them so. I would like you to do what the captain will not.
And while we deal with the hordes of angry specters, what shall you be doing?
When the mines are purged, I'll oust Pennington.
Where do we go?
There is a second tunnel into the mines. The entryway was walled shut during the quarantine. Getting there will not be easy, but the barricade should fall without too much difficulty. After that, who knows?
Underground again. Wonderful.
If it soothes you, I too am taking a significant risk. The captain has a penchant for locking people up and leaving them to rot. Some years ago in New Eden town, the captain locked up an innocent woman. A fate I wish to avoid.
Pennington the jailer. Do you speak of Deborah? What did he do?
I was away from New Eden town at the time. Rumours said she was a witch, I later heard. And so too did the captain. The court agreed. Who knows what urges drove the captain then? He is a secretive man, and always has been.
How goes it with Sebastian?
I'm not sure. I had never let go of my grief. I was bereft, empty. His absence gave me substance. I clung to it. Useless, really. My husband died in the dark, with nothing but my handkerchief to soothe his last moments. And now, he's back. If each worthwhile thing in life is to be lived, and then when it is gone, to be grieved, then what now? I have to believe our love is enough.
Love is hard work. We are bound to grieve all the different versions of ourselves. And theirs.
I try to hold him and cannot. It taunts me. It was almost easier when he was gone.
All things are fleeting. Gaze upon the ghost you love and you can't deny it, bitter though the thought may be.
Yes, 'tis a blessing and a curse. Yet against all reason, we persist. Let us make the most of time remaining.
Is it your belief that Pennington's quarantine lies at the heart of the problem here? That this is why the dead rage so?
What else? He walled them in. Miners, nurses, soldiers, the healthy or the sick. He buried them all, and then he lied about it. I'll brook his callous cowardice no more.
Much goes on around here, and you seem to know about all of it.
I try, and I could do something about it if the captain was out of the way.
What brought you to New Eden?
I came with Sebastian, willingly, mind you. My father was a soldier. I knew there'd be travel. Sebastian courted me for 3 years. I swore when we married I'd follow him to the end of the earth. And here we are.
How's morale about the fort?
The fort has known better days. Not many, mind. It's always been miserable. Folk deserve better. They fought so hard and lost so much. The captain must show them a future.
We should go.
Then it's agreed. When you're ready, you'll investigate the mines. Take the hoist to the waterfall, near the outpost you first found me. From there, it is not far to the tunnel. Keep your wits and all your luck about you.
An innocent woman jailed.
I mean, as wolf pelts go, it's pretty.
barbaric.
But I've more
An
than
officer
enough
must
of
be
them.
just.
Folk
or
in
else it all
Boston are not
unravels.
short of wolf pelts.
Helen is right.
What do I do with
The
this?
truth lies down there, somewhere. I suspect Deborah is at it again.
That is not the problem.
This requires a key. Storeroom. Locked.
Rebecca had a plan for herself and Ferdinando. Look for a store.
Greetings. Welcome to Ingersoll's General Store. I'm Bathsheba Ingersoll, the owner. What can I get you? A comb, perhaps?
A comb. Very funny. Red McCraith, and pleased to meet you.
Oh, please get the comb.
The shopkeeper must hear everything that goes on. Tell me something interesting. Just between us.
You assume me to be a gossip monger. What do you wish to know?
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He lets me trade. I like the man. He says Ingersoll's store is good for the fort. I very much agree.
What can you tell me about Helen Priest?
I like her, though she's impetuous. Terse, even. She fancies herself a leader when she should know her place, and that place is below the captain. Thinking about it? No. I don't think I do like her.
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
Well, it's cold. Folk are hungry more often than not. I've little to tell you won't hear from someone else. But Ingersoll's is open, so all is well with me.
Tell me about your store. Tell me about you.
The original Ingersoll's in Boston was grand and fine, but it burned in the North Square fire of '91. We moved to New Eden with Nathaniel. But before Natty could return home, my husband died. Then came the curse. And now here we are. Welcome to Ingersoll's of Fort Jericho.
You never wanted to do anything else?
My husband was prosperous and affluent. I was young and clever. We made an excellent match. He taught me everything I know. The store is my business. My legacy. My story. It is who I am. I don't like running a store. I love it.
Shall we trade?
I rather think we should, sir. What interests you?
I must take my leave.
And may God go with you.
No Ferdinando here.
Good day, sir. Nathaniel Sather at your service. What can I do for you?
Mr. Sather remains to be seen. Red McCraith, by the way. The Banisher. You seem a chatty fella.
We see precious few new faces around here. You'll forgive me if I use you for fresh conversation.
Tell me about yourself. Share your business. Tell me what's important to you.
I'm from Boston. I love it very much. So much more lively. A fine mix of conviviality and anonymity. I miss that life. The music, the colour and the splendour, the dance of commerce. The flower sellers' forget-me-nots. Oh, the forget-me-nots. I very much wish to go home.
What are you doing here then?
I'm the shop boy. When the store moves, I move with it. Old man Ingersoll opened up a general store in Boston back in '78. Then he married Bathsheba. I came with them to New Eden intending to quickly return, but Mr. Ingersoll died. I extended my stay. They took me on when I was just a boy. I've no family. All I have is my Thomas, my closest friend.
You have, as my granny would say, the power to talk the back legs off a two-footed donkey. But I bet you listen too. What do you hear hereabouts?
Oh, little of interest. Pennington has signed John Rumble to the train band, which means nothing at all to me. I believe John was down the flooded mine. That can't have been fun. Maybe the militia will be good for him.
Huh? You never know who'll take to soldiering.
You say that, and I defer to your experience, but I'm sure it's not for me.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
The captain? I've not a single bad word to say about that dismally antiquated, superannuated old man. His depth of experience is inspiring, although I shudder to think what those experiences have done to him. But we should respect our elders. We should listen to their point of view, and then ignore it as we look to the future.
What do you think of Helen Priest then?
I'd put her in charge if I could. She's bright, trustworthy, thinks for herself. She's not married to old doctrine. People here are desperate. They're sick, they need courage. And Helen Priest fears nothing.
More generally, how fares Fort Jericho?
It's cold. Our clothes are inelegant, the walls are drab. There's no music, no conviviality. There's no gaiety. Boston isn't much of a city, but I miss it. I wonder what I could make of this place were I allowed.
You can paint a turnip red, but it still won't be an apple.
True, but stack enough red-painted turnips about the place, and even the dourest Scotsman shall surely crack a smile.
I must go. Thank you for your time.
Take care, and mention it not.
How often, Abigail, must we have this fight? How often must we argue?
We shall argue until you hear me.
I hear you all too well. I hear a hoggish harem, a narrow knack, a selfish shrew.
One of these days, I shall poison you.
Beautiful. I'll take the cliff and push you off it.
Please excuse my husband. He really is as unpleasant as he sounds. And who are you, then?
Red McCraith, ma'am. I'm a banisher.
Are you, indeed? Pleased to meet you, Mr. Banisher. I'm Abigail Rumble. Thanks to you, me and my husband should soon be able to go back to our mountains.
You and your husband prefer an isolated life outside the fort?
I have a roof above my head, my belly is rarely empty, and I live by my beliefs. We suffered for many years. By comparison, this is bliss.
Do you not find it dangerous out here? Just the two of you alone?
I thank you for your concern, but we live how we live, and it makes us quite contented.
Your husband won't mind us talking?
No. Why would he? We are faithful and trustworthy. As, I'm sure, are you.
She doubts your intentions.
No need to worry about me, ma'am. I'm spoken for.
Good. We understand one another. My husband and I are very close. Very close indeed.
Then you have my admiration. Sustaining such closeness takes much tolerance and hard work.
You don't know how good you've got it.
Anything talk-worthy round these parts?
Ferdinando Miller has been the talk of the town lately. He has had much good fortune, and many resent him for it. I like the lad. He's polite, helpful, listens to his customers. He deserves no backbiting.
What's your thoughts on Pennington? A good leader?
He gave John a job. That was good. We hadn't worked since we left the Bly place. He saw John's promise and gave him his chance. I'd say he's a good leader.
Helen Priest seems to get the work done.
The captain trusts her with his life. So do I. John adores her. When the fort was attacked, she proved us right. I like having a strong woman in charge.
I'll let you get back to your day, madam.
If you need anything, feel free to ask.
Storeroom. Locked. A store. Ferdinando's? Closed. Are we in the right place?
Try Nick.
Anyone home? No one.
Papers in Miller's name. we're in the right place.
Keep looking. What is this?
A sanza. It's a musical instrument. It's Bantu, from southern Africa.
He's organized.
Disorganized traders lose money.
Vardy reads English extensively.
Well, nobody's perfect.
He's making protective amulets.
He's making useless trinkets.
And he works hard to keep her away.
Maybe she tried to harm him. Let's search the store. Surprisingly high-quality wares.
Can't be many left in New Eden with the means to buy. He's doing surprisingly well for himself.
Where did he get the inventory?
Rebecca's will. She was rich. She left him the lot.
That's where he got the inventory.
No. The list matches his sales record.
Touch my money and I'll drop you. What are you doing here? Thieving, no doubt.
I'm no thief, Mr. Miller. I'm the Banisher. I brought Helen Priest back to the fort.
A Banisher? Thieves lie. How do you know my name?
'Tis my business to know. Red McCraith.
If you are a Banisher of ghosts, I have business for you. I'll pay.
Aye. I know about Rebecca. It was she who sent me to find you. She worries for you. Says she loves you.
The English have a word for that. Hogshite.
Was she lying? You inherited her estate.
Whichever. It matters not. You're a Banisher. It is your job to get rid of her. Can you not just do your work?
Easy, Mr. Miller. Now, I'll need to examine Rebecca's belongings.
I sold them. All of them.
You did? To who?
I don't know. People. I wrote it down. In the register. Read it, if you wish.
2 recent sales, to the blacksmith and to Ingersoll's store.
You've put quite the effort into protecting your home, haven't you?
You poked about my house without my say-so.
I know my business. So out of generosity, here's the truth. None of it works. Not the wreath, not the amulet. None of it works. Pretty, though.
His brooch is working.
It works. She hasn't come back. I can sleep now. I hear her calling, whispering my name. I wait to find her at my bedside. Our eyes meet. She stares. She won't leave me alone. She's an Akishi, a demon. Banish her. I'll pay you.
I need a job. I accept. The storekeeper hears much. What do you hear, Mr. Miller?
I'm a busy man. If you've a question to ask, then ask it.
What can you tell me about Captain Pennington?
He has no problem with me. I have no problem with him. He respected Rebecca's wishes. He gave me what was mine. My freedom. Her estate. He saw me as a man and signed the papers to say so. And when them who saw different complained, he laid down the law.
What think you of Helen Priest?
I don't think of Helen Priest. I stay out of her way. I hope she'll stay out of mine.
Well, stuff looks good. Let's trade.
Now, my friend, we are conversing.
Farewell to you, Mr. Miller, sir.
You know where to find me. If you're buying, I'm selling.
He'd sold it all. Everything she'd owned. And fast.
Is he wiping the slate clean and moving on?
If we track her things down, perhaps they'll tell us.
Ready for another ride? Circumstances aside, this is quite romantic.
Swarming hordes of spectres aren't to your liking.
They are if I'm with you. Fan of this breeze, mind.
Not as romantic as you'd thought, eh?
Maybe now's the time to ask you to marry me.
Try it and I'll cut the rope. Can you find a way around the locked door?
That corpse is taking aim.
Still impressive. What a beautiful view.
Every morning I wake to a better one.
Are you trying to charm me, lady? I'll warn you. It should definitely work.
Blocked. I hope there's another way in.
Time for me to shine.
can handle this on my own.
Have a bit of this.
we?
Banishers. I see you found your way.
Sebastian, what are you doing here?
Difficult though it be to walk these dark tunnels, I'll guide you as best I can.
You sure you want to come? You don't have to.
I must. For Helen.
What shall we find down there?
The rage of the Forsaken. They trusted him. He betrayed them. He abandoned them. I doubt they can be placated.
Pennington did a great and terrible thing. Your death must feel like an outrage.
I am a soldier. I took the shilling. Death is part of the bargain. One dies so many may live. I served the sick and the dying. When my turn came, I was ready. But now, in the fort, there is no noble sacrifice. One dies, so all may also die.
Tell us a little more about Helen.
I'm not sure what more I could tell you. My wife is a strong woman. What you see is what you get. Every day I feel blessed to have a partner and best friend by my side. I had never expected her. When she came into my life, I came home to myself. Made me want to be a better man.
Oh, I know the feeling.
She gave me a handkerchief. I died clutching it. A symbol of our love. She was and is ever in my thoughts. She is my world, now until the end.
We must press on.
Stay close. Whenever you're ready. Not far now, till you find what you need. I hope.
Pity. I was enjoying this wee promenade. Oh, fantastic.
I think you can get down from here.
Everything all right?
Let's just get this over with.
Wasn't I always?
Pennington ordered the barricades fast. I barely had time to bid Helen farewell.
That must have been hard.
A soldier is called to sacrifice.
Aye, still impressive. Yeah.
Spirits of these soldiers were angry.
Soldiers weren't spared. Those not taken by sickness or thirst died of despair.
Which one took you?
Despair. Most definitely.
These tunnels go surprisingly deep.
In its heyday, it was quite the operation. You see this lift? It goes all the way down. Cart upon cart rose to the surface, piled high with ore.
What's over here?
More tunnels blocked off. More death in the dark.
The words of a ghost may resonate here.
I told Gray the tunnels were hellish hot. But Wilson says he can't do much about it. Keep feeding the furnace, says he, if you want your meager pay. That sounds nasty. You alright?
Wouldn't fancy working here with the furnaces running.
The work men did here was meant to make New Eden rich.
miners abandon their work when sickness hit?
They worked till they could work no more.
Stuck, damn it.
There's a strong spectral presence down there.
A lot of us died down here.
What the hell was that?
Uh-oh.
They're coming.
Feet on the ground. Think you could take on a ghost? On your toes, Scotsman. This isn't over yet. Eyes peeled. Make it yield. Watch your step. Nice of you to join us, Sebastian. Care to explain what the hell we just heard?
I can't.
What now?
I say we push past the blockade. Follow me, please.
go then. I feel the dark curse or spell we found already.
We should find that ritual Seeker told us about. I've kept her notes about the hut location.
What's this?
A makeshift checkpoint. The halfway mark.
Are they expecting to face a regiment?
In a way. We knew the dying would try to fight. We had to keep them from infecting the rest.
Charming.
Can't blame a man for wanting to make it home alive.
Why would Pennington cut off the food?
He decided we weren't worth saving. Damn him to hell for it.
Reason enough for a Spectre to rage. Press on.
The living quarters are ahead, if you insist.
Feet on the ground. Shift your balance.